I said quiet in the studio.
We are.
All right. Fire in the hole.
Oh,
Are you ready?
Don't forget to tell them it's Monday.
It's Monday.
Monday.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is Jonathan Starkey, a.k.a. Ab Fab, your delightful, delicious, delovely pub landlord. Shut up, or you get muted straight away. I'm telling you now.
About your arm all night.
Your delightful, delovely, delicious pub landlord of that digital pub called Cheshire Mantis. And we have the usual suspects on tonight. Say hello, Statsman.
Yo, yo, yo. How are we?
There, man. Oh, not very good. My arm is hurting. My arm is hurting.
You're there for sympathy. Tough. Oh, big yo, yo, yo.
Not there.
Listeners.
By
the way, listeners, he's got a sore arm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, just for the listeners' sake, we'll let them know that last week, or whenever it was, it's gone so quick, you fell over and it was a bit of a muscle strain. This week, we get calls with you on the phone, virtually giving the impression you've turned into Stephen Hawking. And now you're a complete mess. Ooh, I can't move me up. One arm is now fractured, right? And you can't do anything. At least, which arm do you use normally? Is it right? Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm not telling you. My toileting is nothing to do with you.
Well, that was the question. We asked, wait a minute. We asked, are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm not telling you. All right, go ahead. Say hello. Trevor, a.k.a. the Gazelle. Look, the music. He's eating up all the music. Look at that. What he's doing.
Gone again.
I know. Say hello, Trevor.
Do it for Yorkshire.
For Yorkshire. Hi. Right, and okay.
1st of August, Yorkshire Day.
And we already know that the Raven is here already, so, okay, all right. Anyway, let's...
Excuse me.
What?
I'm going to say good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon. Could be either of any of those, to all our fabulous listeners out there.
All 4 of them now. We are moving up the charts.
Last week.
No doubt about it. We're moving up the charts. All 4,000 of them. Right, okay, well, let's move on to the roundup, and we're going to go straight into this. And now, Nigel Farage warns other woke banks face the same fate as the Nat West. What do you think about what he's been doing at the moment? Anybody in favour? Trev?
It's good.
It is fabulous, yeah. He stood up to him again. And I think he's only Farage can do that. And he's done it again. And he's shown them for what they are. And they've backed down and they've now offered him another bank account, haven't they?
Yeah, they've offered him his original bank accounts, both his personal and his business bank accounts, back with Coots.
Well, I know what I'd say to him.
Well, go ahead, Mark.
I'd say I'll have my bank accounts when you all resign. With
Is
zero
he in
chaos.
cahoots with Nat West?
Say what?
Is he in cahoots with Nat West?
Who? Nigel Farage?
He doesn't get it, does he? His arm's not
cahoots.
affecting his head.
Cahoots. Yeah, well, I'm not with it because it wasn't that funny. So I have to be honest with you. Cahoots.
It's not a win until they all lose their jobs.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
And pay them some compensation. And then everybody else. Apparently there's 1,000 people's accounts being taken a day. So until they all get their accounts back, it's not a win.
No, I get it. Well, apparently there is legislation being introduced to actually curb the banks from doing what they've been doing on political grounds, where people are actually they're censored because of their beliefs of something of some nature at all. What's this? I can see all the fingers going around. Okay, how about these 2 fingers going around?
I've just seen a report of Rachel Reeves of the, I'd say, a glimpse into the future.
Yeah.
Rachel Reeves, the what is she? The something for Labour, anyway.
Does she have a crystal ball? Do you know?
Yeah, this lady, whatever her name is, who resigned, she's done nothing wrong. She was the first woman to take over a job of that size, and she did an excellent job. And Farage is basically just stirring up the muck. So she said, I mean, that's just a glimpse of what's coming. We all know that Labour are probably going to get in. Yeah. I mean, and this is let's look at it. This is what we're going to get.
Yeah. No. I get it. Go ahead, Mark.
So we're swapping morals for laws now, are we? So because everyone's morally bankrupt, we have to then bring a law out to fix it. Seriously, this country's a joke, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hang on, what did Trev say? Because she was a woman. I know. I haven't looked at this, but I guess it's misogyny.
Oh, really?
Nothing to do with
That's
the
all it is. That's all it is.
problem. It's two-faced people won't own up to anything and they'll blame you. I hate this, you know.
Oh, they always turn out to be the victim.
Oh, they'll throw it back. Oh, but misogyny. No. Shut up. Give everyone the bank accounts back and pack it in.
Well,
enough. Yeah.
Truth of the matter is, everyone would expect people in public life, whether that's in a business leadership role or otherwise, to act responsibly and with integrity. How about that?
Does the likes of Gary Glitter, do they still have their bank accounts?
Yeah, and they're also still getting royalties collected for them in this country.
So paedophiles, okay.
Yeah.
Someone who's supported Brexit, bad. I see the left arm morally defunct.
Yeah.
It's official.
Okay, next. Fury as Bar Council attacks the Prime Minister for criticising bent migration lawyers. Now, you remember that story that was going on about migration lawyers, selling their services to give bent stories for asylum seekers?
Here we are again then.
Here we are again. Same old.
Strangely enough, the SRA, the Solicitors Regulatory Authority, moved like flash when the government got involved, and 3 of these offices were closed. How about that? Yeah. SRA, you can't get them. To get a complaint against a solicitor from the SRA is so difficult. It's unbelievably difficult. But yet the government step in on something like this, boom. The 3 offices concerned were closed. Just like that by the SRA. Go ahead, Mark.
How many times have we seen this? Oh. So again, they've been breaching their professional codes of conduct, have they?
Yep.
And that the law as well. And also encouraging people to come to this country to make money.
Yeah.
And then they're the victims again, are they?
Indeed.
This is driving me mad, I'm going to be honest. How does he keep flipping it back? It's like they're bang out of order here.
That's because...
Don't be nasty. Oh.
The good guys get downed and the bad guys get upped. That's the way that it is in this country at the moment. We need change.
Stop putting them in jail, I think.
We need the Gazelle as the PM, don't we, lads? Vote Gazelle.
Gazelle for PM.
Gazelle for PM. Gazelle.
Totally agree. I'll sort them out.
And you can have a word with Keir Starmer when you're there as PM, because he has finally accepted a woman is an adult female. Whoa! How can you get that?
Are you serious? This is taking some time.
It's true. It's happened.
Yeah, but the other week he said women can have penis, just a small, tiny amount. So if you ask him that question again, I bet he flip-flops and says, yeah, they can have one when you fake one and sew it on. Ew.
Well, Sir Flip-Flop has said he finally accepts a woman is an adult female as Labour leader confirms the party will U-turn on gender self-identification and admits the policy is not the right way forward. So he's admitting a woman is a woman.
I think the headline should have been Keir Starmer confirms reality.
This is major progress for the United Kingdom when we've got a shadow leader confirming basically the obvious.
Does he ever read the dictionary, do you think? Or is he just really thick?
Well, I asked my MP what he thought a woman was, and he said he'll go with the Oxford Dictionary definition of it. And I said, oh, so it means that, a woman's got a penis then? And he said, it doesn't say that in the Oxford Dictionary, does it?
No, it doesn't. I think we did this the other week. I think the only one it still says anyone who identifies is actually, I think it was Cambridge. Even Wikipedia have changed it, and it says adult human female. So maybe.
Unbelievable. We're getting somewhere.
Reality.
Indeed. What about that guy who served such a long sentence, 17 years for rape? He insists he did not commit, and he is now cleared. But any compensation that he gets, he may get taken out his cost of his actual incarceration. How about that?
He may. He will be.
Yeah, well...
well, if he's been put there wrongly, why should he have to pay for his stay there?
Totally agree. But that is what is being bandied about now.
So when these migrants actually get their final say, yes, you can actually stay in this country, then they obviously will have to pay back all their bed and breakfasts, all
nice
their
point,
hotels.
Indeed. Mark, go ahead.
I've got a cracking idea. Who was responsible for wrongly convicting him? Maybe they should pay it back.
Oh, well, somebody did not. It was down to DNA evidence in the end, and it was DNA evidence that wasn't submitted at the time. This guy was. They just piled on him. This guy.
Well, then whoever didn't submit it, bye. You spent 17 years in jail, and maybe that'll put an end to it.
Well, talking about the bad guys, a Greater Manchester detective is guilty of rape of a 12-year-old child. How about that?
I've only got one.
Greater Manchester Police, did you say?
Yep, Greater Manchester detective guilty of rape of 12-year-old child.
Words fail me. Words seriously fail me. It's beyond comprehension, this sort of thing.
They don't fail me, mate. Death penalty.
Yeah, well, it happened. It happened. Okay. And what about the Labour front bencher, Abina Opong Asare? I think I've got that right. I'm not sure.
Say that again.
Abina Opong Asare.
One more time.
Abina Opong Asare. I don't even know whether she's Scottish or whether that's the right accent or not. Abina Opong Asare. Or you can say it with a Northern Irish accent.
I'm not thinking it's a Scottish name.
Abina Opong Asare. All right. Are we all right there? Okay. Well, she billed taxpayers for a £55 car parking fine. She billed the taxpayers for that. Can you believe that?
You can't actually do that. If they're self-employed, and if they're self-employed, they can't do that.
Well, she did.
Okay. Oh, she paid a parking fine.
Yeah, the taxpayers paid it, and people are asking for her to be struck up or to resign or what have you. I mean, they're really, really annoyed about it. Okay, but here's something:
if you can't do it, and if you can't do it, they can't do it.
Well, here's something for you. Margaret Ferrier will not stand in by-election triggered after COVID rule breaking. So this woman, SNP MP. She damaged the reputation of the Commons and put people at risk when she took part in a debate at Westminster after travelling by train while suffering from coronavirus in September 2020. And she's an SNP MP, and she's actually lost her seat. So she's not going to stand. Yeah, she's not going to stand. She was on the recall. Okay? Not on the rebound, on the recall.
She's been outdone by because Boris and all that lot was still partying, and he had COVID, didn't he?
Indeed. Well, she was ordered to undertake 270 hours of unpaid work after admitting culpably and recklessly exposing the public to the risk of infection, illness, and death as a result of her behaviour. Go ahead, Mark.
So the charlatans who implemented all this nonsense by ruining the country and locking everyone down, they're taking the moral high ground again and punishing someone for going on the train when she had a cough.
Yep. Well, the petition, signed by more than 10% of the constituency's electorate, opened on the 20th of June and closed at 5 p.m. on Monday. South Lanarkshire Council announced the results on Tuesday. Posting on social media, the local authority said out of the 81,123 electorate, you ready? 11,896, which represents 14%, somewhere around about that. People signed the petition. A total of 37 returns were rejected. There you go. So that means that she was rejected. Flat out. Go ahead, Mark.
I've changed my mind. In fact, she was responsible for letting it all happen. So suffer the consequences. Tough.
I know the cutter would have loved to actually have delivered that story this evening, but the cutter's not here. You'll have to wait to come down. He'll have to invade again. Come on down. All right. And what do you think about Priti Patel? Come on.
Quite nice, actually. A bit plump, but she's quite nice.
I was going to say to you,
she's not bad, is she, for a politician?
What do you think about her interview with Camilla Tominey on Sunday? Right.
Funny how they speak sense after they've left their positions of responsibility.
Yeah. Oh, she was highly critical of the government. This was over the Farage-Coots RBS issues stuff. She said, I don't think the problem can be left to politicians or Parliament anymore. I don't think the regulators can be trusted anymore. I think there are wider inquiries that are needed with the regulatory environment that we have. Can the political establishment be trusted to ask the right questions, be independent, be probing, or even the establishment itself, i.e. the regulators? Big question mark. What does everybody say? No.
Can't trust them with anything, full stop.
That'll be the same Dame Priti Patel then, won't it?
Yes.
Is this a sort of regulatory process where the police investigate themselves and all these other ombudsmen are funded by the very own industries and things like that?
Oh, there's tons of them. The FCA, I mean, it's a revolving door for some of these people. I mean, the woman who's the head of Thames Water used to be a former head of Ofwat in 2014. The guy who's head of the NatWest Bank, the executive chair, Sir Howard Davis, he was actually one of the first executives of the Financial Control Authority. So it's like gamekeepers turned poacher.
Yeah,
I hope they've kept those Nightingale hospitals, what they built in London.
They've gone.
Because I mean, you can start filling them now with all the dames and the sirs and all that, because there's that many of them.
Oh, yeah.
Parliament can't hold anymore. They've got 850, so we're going to have to start moving them all into the Nightingale hospitals.
Well, I'll finish off with what she said. She said, I think the wider problem that we have right now are the types of issues that are affecting ordinary people in their everyday lives. And this is because of the government, state regulation, the size of the state, and the way in which, quite frankly, institutions have been given a license to operate in this way, and there's no scrutiny, there's no public accountability.
We've said that for many, many years.
I know, but she came out with this, and my jaw nearly dropped because I'm thinking, why is she doing that now? What's going on?
Well, it's a bit slow off the mark, if you ask me.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say late to the party, but she's literally turned up while all the guests are on the way home.
Yeah.
It's like, talk about the slow kids catching up. This is ridiculous. What's she going to tell us next? Oh, all them lockdowns were a big scam.
Yeah. So basically, we're getting into silly season now as far as nationals are concerned, but a lot of local issues coming up. And I know that the Gazelle has got something on his mind. And we're not talking about his toupee or his thick, dark glasses that make him look like Eric Morecambe. Hey! So there we go. So go ahead, Gazelle. We're going to go with an extended version of the locals tonight. Go ahead.
Right. Are you ready for this one?
Oh, yes.
Make yourself comfortable.
You're taking the Michael, aren't you? You know that I've got a fracture in my arm, and you're saying to me, make yourself comfortable? Damn.
Make yourself comfortable.
I need morphine.
So,
keep going, Trevor. Keep going.
Here we go. Police are looking for a man who has been offering large amounts of money to young boys to kick him in the groin.
Right, I identify as a young boy. Where is he?
Yeah.
That makes two of us.
Don't get me steel toe caps.
I'm 8 years old, and I want to try and have a go with Rounders bat.
Large amounts of money. This has been happening in the Fernhead area of Warrenation Street. It happened on, I think it was Monday, July the 24th. It was reported that two boys under the age of 10 were approached by a man, an unknown man, it says. The same man returned the following Friday and approached the boys again, asking them to kick him in the groin. The suspect is described as approximately 60 years old with short grey hair. Now, I've been round there for the last 6 hours today.
You've been looking for the guy.
Yeah, he's been offering a lot of money. I mean, £1,000. That's not to be sniffed at.
You wanted to go and give him a good kick.
Oh, obviously, I will have my own little twist on this.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I've met the man, and the man actually said he was sick of the government doing it, so he thought he would cut out the middleman.
And just give everybody the money.
Give everybody the money.
Is that serious, like?
Yes, it's serious. Yeah. Police are searching for him round Vulcan Close near the it's near the Fernhead shops in Warrington.
What crime do you think they're going to get him for with this one?
I mean, what crime is he committing? Because somebody's assaulting him. Dude, that 8-year-old kid, he stole £1,000 off me, and he kicked me in the balls for it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, actually, I'm going to throw something in here. This guy clearly is warped in some capacity. First of all, he's approaching minors and offering them money, and then offering them money to engage in some kind of weird thing that sort of, this guy wants to take place. Now, it's actually appalling. So what I'm going to say on behalf of us all is that the people of Warrington right now should take extra precautions in looking after their kids and making sure they know where they're going, who they're with, etc., etc. So, to be quite frank, I'm sick and tired of people. I did see this online, Trevor, and I thought this is absolutely bizarre. But
it's bizarre, yeah.
Let's face it. I'm sick and tired of people in this country wanting to approach children on the streets for all sorts of unacceptable reasons. And I'm sick to death of it. So I'm just going to sort of say to the people in Warrington, look after your kids and keep your eye on them, especially more so at the moment.
If that had been in Latchford, the women in Latchford would have had those kids lined up in an orderly fashion, right? And saying, right, £1,000 for him. Okay, Johnny, move. Michael, go ahead, your turn.
Yep, we'd be looking at commission.
Hey, if it was near Christmas, mate, it would be a massive queue, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Parents, go on, get in there,
Get in there.
Okay, Trevor, and you've got something else to tell us? Go ahead.
I've got another one, which is my number 2. I'm actually going to...
Oh, don't call it a number 2.
Yeah, a number 2. in the near future, I'll be putting up as Steve said there, this is bizarre, but I'm going to do a little section of bizarre things in Warrenation Street. I'm going to start working on that soon.
Okay.
Yeah, number 2, I've just been informed that the council are in the process of building a gypsy travellers site at the old Sandy Lane farm in Orford, which is probably half a mile away from me. Now, that one slipped past my radar because the last time I've seen it, when I knew they were knocking the old farm down, was that they're going to build, as always, 4 houses. But they didn't on this one. Now, I've just been round there yesterday to check it out, and it's got 8 concrete plinths already set. Yes, that's 8. This is a camp.
Right.
Whilst we have a regular run-in with travellers in Warrington. Now, there are, at present, at least 25 caravans and associated towing vehicles. So that actually dwarfs the 8 plinths.
Okay.
Because we've got, there's 25 there and towing vehicles, so you've got to have at least another 20 towing vehicles, I'd say. They have set up camp in Silver Lane in Risley. And there's another camp been set up, which is around 5 caravans, so they can just literally move down the road because it's not far from Orford.
Okay.
And they've set up on the Range Store car park, which is private land. We've been suffering this for years, and I remember about 20 years ago in St. Helens, by law, if you set up a travellers' camp, they can no longer park on the likes of the Range car park or elsewhere, because if there is facility for them to park there, then they have to use that facility.
Okay.
Because they can then use the law against them to move them on. Now, the ones in Silver Lane have been given till till Sunday, last Sunday, to move out, and they've no intentions of moving. They're not moving at the moment.
Right.
I mean, how are you physically going to move 20 caravans plus towing vehicles? That'd be quite difficult.
Mark's advising some form of explosive.
Yeah, I thought it looked like the blue touch paper, isn't it? I mean, so we've set up this camp of 8 caravans. That's not really going to deal with the problem, is it? I mean, not that I want any more. I don't want the 8.
Well, any more than 8, and it's Woodstock, baby.
Yeah, I've also put out a call to arms for anybody who actually complained about this, because I did miss it. And I put that on Facebook, a social media outlet, asking for anybody that complained to the local MP. And then I had to explain who the local MP was.
She's on telly enough.
Her name's Charlotte Nicholls, and she's normally frequented around music festivals pubs and the main headlines of all national newspapers, if anybody doesn't know her.
Okay.
For the wrong reasons, quite often.
For all the wrong reasons, yes. There is never a right reason with her. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll leave that at that then.
All right. Okay. Stevie, go ahead. You're going to be talking about, I believe, a massive crack.
Yes.
Oh, tell us about this massive crack.
Yeah. What's this massive crack, Stevie?
How's the crack?
How's that crack?
It's in your left
What's
arm.
that crack there?
It's in your left arm.
What's the
Which is why when
situation?
you currently go for a swim, you're going round and round in circles. So it's like poetic justice after all this hitting these mute buttons and messing about. It's someone else.
So what's the crack then? Go ahead.
Right. Now, are you going to be quiet for a minute before
No. We're not going to be quiet. We're going to interrupt at every
the rest
opportunity.
are, they're
Come on,
all
get
right
on with
with
it.
you.
We'll try.
Right.
Come on.
I've sent you, as you are well aware, a video which I took yesterday morning.
Oh, is this the video that wouldn't play?
It's a good video, that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I've sent it to you. You've got it now. Right.
I'm serious now.
I'm being serious. I sent the video. He said, check this video out. I got it there. And I pressed it. I'm thinking,
Well,
delayed
it's
reaction
you.
or what?
Listen, it's you with these all these communication methods that don't work. You need to get your act together.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's always got to be us. Same
man,
with,
did
same
you
with
manage how
Mark and the same with the Gazelle.
Did you work out how to send the video, yeah?
Yeah.
Just step in the
I'm
right
trying to
direction.
get to this point. It's actually like trying to build this bridge on my own. But there you go. So,
Go on,
right.
go on. I'll shut up. I'll shut up
I'm
now.
going to draw the listeners' attention to the Grosvenor Bridge in Chester, which goes over the River Dee.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Is
a
that
very
the one
old
by,
bridge.
is that the one by what formerly was Dawson's? The music shop there?
No, further. You know where the HQ building is by the racecourse, the big
Oh,
round
there.
building?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Got
Right,
you.
so it's the big one that goes over there. Now, on Monday, yesterday morning, I decided to take a little bit of a walk and walk along the river. And I thought I'd take a few pictures along the river by the bridge and things like that. And I've noticed this before and has decided to take a video because you've got the main arch over the river and either side you've got a walk through arch where people walk and cycle through on the cycle route. And this arch, I'm guessing, would be about 15 feet wide or something like that. And I'm guessing about 30 feet high. It's huge. I've sent this video to you and it's got a huge crack from the floor.
Oh, that woke
right
me up.
One side, right across the arch at the top and right down the other side. I've filmed it. I've sent it to you. And this needs to go to Councillor Louise Gittins, the head of the council.
The lady that doesn't respond to us.
Well, let's see if this one's responded to, because you need to get that video off to her immediately because we want a response. And secondly, we want to know, on behalf of the people of Cheshire West who use that bridge daily, huge amount of traffic goes over that bridge, what's going to be done about it? So,
that's right. Okay. Hey, Dobby. Yes, Master Jonathan. Dobby at your service. I'll send email off. No worries. Okay.
So make sure that goes immediately after this podcast and then put it on the Twitter page.
Dobby only takes orders from Master Starkey, not from Raven.
Like, Raven, I can tell you what's going to happen, mate. She's going to ignore us, right? And then they're going to fix it and take the credit.
Yeah.
Watch.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. If they do, they're in for a surprise. And I've told Jonathan why earlier on.
Indeed.
So,
and it's a secret.
better
I am
not.
not going to spread it to anybody, and I will not tell Louise Gittins about it.
I'm just a bit concerned that Steve's sending out videos with big cracks.
I know. I'm gonna get in touch with the police.
I like surprises. Anyway, let's see if they like surprises as much as me.
Okay, well, that's Steve's local for tonight. Go ahead, Mark. What have you got?
Nothing.
You've got nothing. Well, in that case, then.
No, you've all got one, haven't you? So I'll let you all...
That's all right. Well, in that case, then, I'll go on to my local. And this is all about the lovely town of Alsager and the town council. Now, we were contacted on Twitter, believe it or not. We had hundreds and hundreds of women trying to get in touch with us.
That's understandable.
Yes. Well, they weren't asking about you, kiddo. I'm just, putting it out there straight away. They weren't asking about you.
Excuse me. Just a reminder, I am indeed the official pin-up for our organisation.
Yeah.
He said, is that Raven still on the podcast? He said, anyway.
That guy, Mr. Budweiser, 1957. Dylan took his place. Anyway, they contacted. They said this guy, this councillor, does not want safe spaces for women and girls. Now, I thought I looked, and this guy got inundated by people criticizing him over different things. So I went through all the tweets, to try and get it. And the original tweet, right, from Councillor Michael Unnett said, Duffield, and he's talking about the MP, has repeatedly spread transphobia, denied trans people died in the Holocaust, strayed into homophobia, and repeatedly attacked LGBT plus people online and Labour's LGBT affiliate. To see an apology to her come from an LGBT MP and patron is incredibly disappointing, to say the least. Right, and he's talking about Wes Streeting apologising to the Labour MP who felt ostracised due to her gender views, and that's, Duffield. Anyway, he started to go on, and he got himself tied into like a sort of a conversation with different people, and he said there's no such thing as sex-based rights. Whoa. The women on there, right, went up like a bottle of pop. And some of them turned around and said, Michael Unnett, not a bright law graduate, run your mouth to tell us you have no sex-based rights, and then go turtle. Meaning, obviously, he just pulls his head in and that's it, no more. We won't forget. Don't expect your career to go far if you can't expect most of the population, especially women and gays, okay? They were disagreeing with him. And boy, were they having a go at this guy over what he said. And we kept on getting tagged into it. At Cheshire Man says, this councillor does not believe that women and girls have a right to single-sex spaces. Okay? And somebody else is saying to him, do you really do law? And my God, there were like tons of them, going in on this guy. So I had to call up. So I called up Alsager Town Council, and I couldn't get anybody, any of the councillors, okay, including him. I couldn't get hold of anybody. And I spoke to a wonderful woman, I was going to say a fella called. That's this day and age.
Stop misgendering them, John. You'll be in the bad books too.
No. She a lovely woman called Nicola Clark. And I explained the situation to her to give her a heads up over what was going on. And she was like a female version of Captain Mannering. When she spoke to me, she went, what's that boy been up to? I was just like, so he's obviously a young guy, so he's got himself a bit tongue-tied. Anyway, and we actually got a statement on the day, which I put up, on Twitter, and the statement said, this was from the town council, the town clerk. Alsager Town Council has been contacted by Cheshire Matters regarding tweets Councillor Michael Unnett has posted in his personal capacity from his personal Twitter account. So straight away, they disassociated themselves, from him. Because when they're actually saying these things, he's got Councillor, Michael Unnett up there. Anyway, he said, Alsager Town Council understands that councillors will have their own social media accounts, but all have signed up to the Town Council's social media policy, freely available on the Town Council website. The Town Council itself does not monitor any Town Councillor's social media accounts. Now,
why do all these councils, etc., have monitoring officers but don't monitor anything?
I don't know.
Well, you could say the same about the codes of conduct and all these policies.
Well, listen to this, right?
You just ignore it.
Listen to this. Should a member of public, including councillor or member of staff, have issue with any councillor posts, if felt appropriate, there is an opportunity to report the content to the Cheshire East Council Monitoring Officer, as every councillor is bound by the approved code of conduct. Right, so
no, they're not.
Never mind. I mean, they put it up. I mean, to be fair to them, they put it up and they put all the links there. So what they're saying is, if anybody's got a complaint about this guy, put it up. Well, The people on the Twitter, the Twitterati, were absolutely made up. That we'd done it. I think one of them called us, Chief Turfinator.
We are officially this is Turf Island. We get called. Women have got a spine, haven't they? And they stick up for the rights.
Well, what's interesting here is that we were getting a lot of attention over this, and people were calling on us. Take note of that.
Yeah. Now, the other thing to take note of is, and I'll say more about this at the end, was that Alsager Town Council got back in touch with us. Okay.
That's a first for the council, isn't it?
Yeah. Now,
Cheshire West. Did I hear correct then, Jonathan? Yeah. Alsager Council got in touch with us, but Cheshire West and Chester Council don't.
No. So there you go. So anyway, now to be fair to Councillor Michael Unnett, he came back with a nice email, and he said, "Dear Jonathan, thank you for your email and your interest. I can confirm that the idea that I do not support single-sex services is absurd, as is the accusation that I do not support the safety of women or girls. I am committed to the safety of women and girls in my area and beyond. I'm a white ribbon ambassador committed to ending male violence against women." And, he goes on and he says, look, basically, he messed up in certain areas, and that's when everything flared up. Okay, so yes, it could be an excuse, from a young guy. What he said was he hopes that the other points that he made about the Equality Act 2010 is not a rights-giving act, but an anti-discrimination one. Now, not too sure, but lots of women
kind of right on that one.
Well, the way that it came across when he was explaining certain things and what he was saying didn't come across right to the women on there.
No.
Okay? Didn't come across correct at all. And basically what he's saying is he admits that his responses were clumsy, and he tried to give clarification to it. He said, Twitter is not the place for nuanced discussion or debate, and his comments have been taken entirely out of context and twisted by some, unfortunately. Now, I can't say yay or nay to that, because when you get hundreds and hundreds of different people criticizing somebody for the things that they're saying on there, not all of them are going to be wrong. So he was kind of cornered, but give him his due. He responded. He was brave enough to respond to us, so that's it. And I'm going to put that out on Twitter, okay, as a response. So there you have it. Steve, what are you going to say?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, to be honest with you, I think this is a little bit of a first to some degree, in the sense that I think he's realised he has messed up and expressed the wrong things. Yeah. It's actually quite refreshing that somebody's prepared to correct that. Now, people will have their own views on his position and how he's addressed it. But let's face it, it's actually quite rare for somebody to address their wrongs.
Yeah, he stood up to it.
I think so. I'm going to hold a bit of judgment either way. I'm going to keep an open mind on it, but it's slightly refreshing in my view. I don't think his comments at the outset were right. I will add this. I think I've said it many times, as we all have, and I'm going to reassert this. I think this is very old-fashioned. I don't care. I think it's time that the women and children of this country felt more safe, and should be able to not only feel safe, but they are safe.
Indeed.
And I think, I don't care what anybody says on this, I'm going to call it out. I think it's the role of men, perhaps old-fashioned stance, I know, to play a very important, positive role in doing that, in their conduct, their attitude, and protecting the women and children of this country.
Indeed, indeed. And I'll go with that. Trevor, go ahead, have a final word on that.
He should think before he speaks. End of.
Yeah.
He's in a position, he's not just going on Twitter and throwing things around willy-nilly. He's in a position where he's a councillor, so he should really think before he speaks. There's no excuse for it.
Well, I think the impression that he gave to the women and the women on there that were really got annoyed about it, I think he gave the wrong impression to them, and I'm not sure whether or not it was intentional or clumsy or what have you. But you don't get so many different women. I mean, 99 of them in one go, right, were tagging us in, to this. And I was just thinking, well, 99 of them in one go, in one tweet, likes, boom. At Cheshire Matters, at Cheshire Matters. Then this guy doesn't like safe spaces for this, that, and the other. Da, da, da. I mean, I have to go with the women on there. If their impression was that, then that's the impression he gave them. Go ahead, Mark.
See, the Equality Act protects people from discrimination, and it's been used by trans activists to claim that trans males or whatever must always be treated so they can go in the opposite toilet from their biological sex. So if they're using it, then the other side are going to say, well, no, we're going to use it to stop it.
Yeah.
So maybe again here we need another law to correct people's morals.
But it's common sense.
We'll have one eventually, won't we? Saying men in men's toilets and women's in women's toilets.
Well, Starmer has just said...
And then the rest of you is in a field or something like that.
Starmer has just said it. I mean, this guy is a Labour councillor.
I was going to say, where's he?
I think what should happen is that he should take the councillor off his personal Twitter account, and it should just be Michael Unnett, and he make it very, very clear that he's speaking in his own personal capacity and not on behalf of any connection that he has to the town council there. It's a nice place. Alsage is a nice place. It's a small town, and the thing is, there are more women in that town than men. So he's on a high ding dong to nothing if he's arguing, that point. But there you go. So anyway, that's fine, and I'm going to call it there. I'm going to say, okay, Stevie I, get to the bar. Get to the bar. Come on.
Chop, chop.
No.
What do you mean? No.
Yes.
No.
Go to the bar. Come on, get some of those digital coins out of your pocket.
No, because you have this disease, which I saw online the other day, called getting around in a phobia.
I won't get a pint of initis.
Yeah, that's it.
No, that's not true. That's not me, is it, Trevor? Tell him the truth. Is that me?
It's not Mr. Landlord.
It's because...
Has he ever been?
Oh, here we go. Creepy.
I will not include you in the round. That's the reason why you say that.
I hope your arm's getting better, Mr. Landlord.
It is.
Oh, listen to this.
Stats. No, you don't want to send him the bar because he can't carry the drinks back.
Yeah, that's right.
No. You can't carry a tray with one arm.
You can pay for them.
I can pay for them, yeah. I don't mind paying. But anyway, go on, Steve. Have you got a shout out or a shout down or what have you? Go on. Get on with it.
Well, not so much a shout down or a shout out. Wait a minute, told you.
Mute. There you go. I had to do it. He hasn't been muted at all.
Listen, you wind your arm in and just be quiet for a minute.
One good arm.
Are you just a quick question before I say what I want to say, uninterrupted?
Yeah, what?
Are you in pain?
Oh, yeah, I'm in pain. No doubt about that.
There is a God. Right.
In nomine Christi.
I'm going to say my message this week, and I'm going to reiterate what I've just said. It is time for the men in this country to stand up and be counted and be men and protect the women and children, the history, the heritage, and everything that our country is. It's time for you to stand up and be counted for your families and your future generations and protect the vulnerable people in this country and protect the women and children. I'm very serious about that. I'm very passionate about it. Too many people in this country, too many men are not standing up as men.
Okay. That's because they identify as mice or women or what have you. Go ahead, Statsman.
We could kill two birds with one stone here, Steve. We could
kill a raven with one stone?
We can find this fella in Warrington, can't we? We can protect kids by putting our steel toe caps on and giving them a right good hoof in the knackers while making some money.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Is that your shout out?
No, I've got a shout down.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a generic one. And I'm sick and tired of this, but it's to all these people who take the moral high ground when in fact they're morally bankrupt. Oh, yeah. I am absolutely sick of the hypocrisy now. Any particular names, sir? Oh, there's loads of them. I'll be here all night. But I'm going to go and buy some steel toe caps for them as well, I think. So. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Gazelle. Okay. Shout out, shout down. I've got a shout down and a shout out as well. So my shout down is to the Nation Builder website.
What of the Reform Party?
What is the Nation Builder website for our listeners, Trevor?
It's not very good.
Well, it's actually a good piece of kit when you can get onto it.
Yeah, but what is it?
Is it from? It's from Reform, isn't it? The party, the political
Reform.
party.
I mean, lots of different companies use it for spreading
Lies.
Materials. It's
Propaganda.
spreading information between organisations. It's a very good piece of kit, as I say, when you can actually get onto it. So my shout down is to the Nation Builder website. I'm trying to log in, and it continuously says, can't find slug.
Try looking in garden.
Yeah. Now it's funny you should say that's because I am going to go on to say, well, just so happens I went into my back garden, and there they were.
You put some lettuce out.
Yeah, walking towards my pond. 2 slugs. I always feel sorry for slugs. They are the poor man's snail, really, aren't they, if you think about it?
Oh, yeah.
It's a poor man's snail because you've got no house.
Is that like the Lib Dems?
Yeah.
That's right. That's the same thing, yeah.
They are the slug and lettuce of the
Slug and Lettuce is
houses.
actually a good series of pubs.
Yes.
Not as good as Stats, obviously. They're not as good as the...
Okay. Well, my shout-out...
Hang on. My shout-out, is to Happy Yorkshire Day to all the Patriots.
Do it for Yorkshire!
Do it for Yorkshire.
Hey,
1st of August. And it started in 1975. They've got their own Yorkshire Day, which I think is brilliant.
I like that.
Hey, Trev, we need to give them a month. Yorkshire month.
Yeah, Yorkshire month. At a certain time of the year when Pride is on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yorkshire month! Okay,
No,
and
that's
publicise it.
English month.
English
Talking
month.
of that, why is Pride Month? Why do we have St. George's Day and Armistice Day, etc., etc.? Why does Pride have a month?
I don't know.
Because that's propaganda, and ours is patriotism.
Patriotism.
It's exactly the same question as why is the LGBT blah blah blah? Why is there no H in it? It's exactly the same question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question on the
bias?
Can I ask a question on the Pride issue? The flag. I don't know whether anybody's noticed. I don't know anything about this, but the flag, which had rainbow stripes going horizontal, now has. There appears to be a new one. I don't know whether it's an addition or a replacement for the old one. I'm kind of seeing two. But the new one has diagonal coloured stripes coming in from one side in the shape of an arrow. Do all of these different colours have meanings? And if so,
yes.
What do they mean?
Oh, no, I'm not going through that because I'm not going to give them any more publicity than they deserve. That's it. End of that conversation.
I'll tell you what you mean. Absolutely nothing. It's all pointless and I don't care.
All pointless and we don't care. So there we go. Right? That... Steve, go on to Google. Go Google it. Go find out what it is.
Go Google what it looks like when you put 4 of them together at a different angle.
Yeah. Oh, you'll enjoy doing that. Try that out. Anyway, my shout out is going to go to that lovely town clerk, Nicola Clark of Alsager, who is a lovely woman, and I enjoyed the conversation with her. And I wish them well, and I hope that when they come to this weekend, they don't have any more issues start popping up, especially in a small town like that. The population is 12,000, I think it is, 12,800. And that's it. It's only a small town, so it's not massive. But anyway, what were you going to say, Top Gun? Go on.
By the sounds of that guy's reply, I think you've fixed this problem there, John.
I think we've fixed this problem as well.
While.
Indeed, for the time being. But I believe he was hauled into the offices at the day that I called up, and he was hauled in to explain himself. But there you go. That's what happens. This is the life of politics. It'll be interesting for the few days, and then next weekend it'll be chip papers, something else, going on. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed that podcast tonight with a little bit of an extended roundup and an extended locals.
I would describe it as excruciating pain.
Well, yeah, that's
I don't know. Ask John about that.
Yeah, whenever we're listening to you, Steve, we're going through that on a regular basis, and there isn't enough ibuprofen or paracetamol or codeine or morphine to help us through this hideous ordeal. So there you go. Anyway,
I'll send you some.
All right.
If you tried earplugs.
Yeah, that's another one.
Got some under my headphones in.
All right. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. And I use the term always loosely when I'm applying it to these panelists.
I thought I'd suggested a bit of an activity for us at the weekend. Should we go rowing up the river?
No.
I know. Can we row down the river?
No. How about you just row on your own and we'll film you?
We go up it. We'll be in the sea.
I'm pretty good at rowing, actually.
Yeah, I bet you are. I bet you are. Yeah. Sail off into the sunset then, will you? Say goodbye.
It's from the Viking days, isn't it?
It's the same subject, just to throw it in, but I've heard you're a bit of a whore.
Say good night, Steve.
We've had this conversation. I'm not doing good night. It's too effeminate. It's too lovey-dovey. I'm going to say goodbye, listeners. Have a great week.
Okay, Statsman.
Proper man stuff.
Farewell, listeners. Until next time.
Farewell, travellers. And the Gazelle, go ahead.
Yeah, just to follow on Steve's Pride event. Bye!
Bye, Steve.
Oh, do you know what? I need to shout out. I need to do a shout out to my phone. It went down the toilet. Still works. Result.
There you go. I tell you what, you cannot take the PISS out of that phone, can you?
Stinks a bit, but still works.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, thank God all that is over. That's another one over. Let's hopefully we can edit that down to about 10 minutes.
Anyway, we haven't got to the bottom of this. Are you right or left-handed?
I told you. I'm not telling you about which way I hang. I'm telling you.
No, we're asking.
Doesn't hang very far.
You're right-handed, aren't you? I've seen you. You're right-handed. And which arm is still good?